I'm Dr. Marie Soclaws, Associate Dean for Student Affairs. It is my honor to welcome you to the 2013 Commencement Celebration and Awards presentation. Tonight, we celebrate the accomplishments of the College of Osteopathic Medicine class of 2013. We are extremely proud of their achievements in academic and clinical performance, research and scholarly activity, leadership on the local, state, and national levels, as well as accomplishments in serving others through countless hours of community service. The class of 2013 has made a difference, and they will continue to positively impact countless lives as they go forward. Now, I'm honored to introduce to you KCUMB's Executive Vice President for Academic and Medical Affairs, Provost and Dean of the College of Osteopathic Medicine, Dr. Mark B. Hahn.
Hey, thanks, Dr. Alclaus. Wow, what a great turnout tonight, and what a great class of 2013. How about another round of applause for our graduates? You know, it's a great class, but as dean, I'm supposed to say that. But you know what? It's really true. I want to share with you some facts about the class of 2013. The 2013 class of KCUMB scored #1 in the nation in the licensing examination, Part 1. #1 in the nation. We also had the highest school mean for COMLEX licensing exam, Level 1. 13 students had perfect COMLEX Level 1 discipline scores. Hmm. 25 students, perfect Level 2 discipline scores. Another round of applause. And for Level 2 of the licensing exam, there's someone in this room that scored the highest in the nation, 803. There's also someone in this room that scored the highest in the USMLE Step 2 licensing exam. That's also called the MD exam, 270. Pretty impressive, huh? So I am proud to be your dean, even though I haven't met most of you, only being here 6 months. I'll see you tomorrow when I give you your diploma. You know, we have a number of honors and awards bestowed upon this class over the last 4 years. But tonight, we'll present the top 4 awards from the Kansas City University of Medicine and Biosciences. But before we start, class of 2013, you didn't get here by yourselves. You've had some help. You've had help from some of the finest faculty and staff in the profession. And I'd like your faculty and staff, please stand. In addition, your family and friends have stood behind you throughout this trek. I'd like to ask them to also please stand and be recognized. Family, friends, please. Now there's one more group in the room. I'd like to have them stand and be recognized. The class of 2013. 2013, hear, hear. And now I have the distinct honor of welcoming my boss, the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Kansas City University of Medicine and Biosciences, to the podium. Dr. Marshall D. Walker, D.O.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Hahn. It's my honor to introduce our special guests with us here this evening that are here in the audience and who have pledged extraordinary dedication and support for KCU&B. Would you please stand as I call your name? Mr. John Perry, representing our Board of Trustees. Mr. Joseph Massman, Executive Vice President for Finance and Operations, Chief Financial Officer. Our Regional Assistant Deans, Dr. G. Michael Johnson, Dr. Steve Karaginas, Dr. Gregory Smith, Dr. Eugene Uzberici, I told you I failed phonetics, Eugene. There is a team of people I'd also like to recognize for their diligence in identifying the candidates and recipients of the awards presented to this class tonight. If you served on the awards committee, would you please stand to be recognized? Come on, don't be bashful. You can imagine with what Dr. Hahn had just said, this was a very difficult class to be recognized with so many deserving recipients. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the president of the class of 2013, Renata Pawashevich. Renata, will you please join me at the podium? I would also like to invite the Vice President of the class of 2013, Matthew Crow, to please come join us on the podium for this special presentation.
Welcome, family, friends, respected faculty, and my fellow colleagues of the class of 2013. It is my honor and my blessing to be speaking to you today. It's also my privilege to be one of you, to be part of this incredible group of individuals who are about to enter in the family of osteopathic physicians. While we may have accomplished a milestone in our wildest dreams, we must first thank our constant support systems, many of whom are here tonight, that they have been there every step of the way. On behalf of my entire class, I want to applaud each of you for your dedication on helping us fulfill our dreams. This is our moment, one we will never forget. From the first day we entered into medical school, all the way to tonight. As we shall sit here on the brink of graduating tomorrow morning, we have grown. But for one last time, let us recall the path of our growth, lest we not forget just how winding and trodden the path truly was. Year one, day one. Family and friends call to congratulate us on our white coating. Then follow their congratulations with, by the way, I've been having this terrible headache. For the past few days, what should I do? The confidence already there. So here we are with our newly ironed coats for the first and last time over the past 4 years, panicking to give an answer. So of course we did what every other very educated medical student did. We turned to Wikipedia for our guidance. Year one, everything may have been a blur. We had no idea what to expect from the first day of class, but we quickly found that a week's worth of basic sciences material would be crammed into one day. Then lather, repeat, rinse, repeat for the duration of the next year. However, there were times of reprieve. On our first day of anatomy lab, it was the decisive factor on whose surgical instincts would flourish. And well, there was the rest of us. And most of the time, most of us were just thinking who would be the first one to pass out and hit the floor. And we must not forget our first day in OMT. We had no clue where to even start manipulating someone's body. Frankly, we were more concerned about if the required dress code of sports and a sports bra was actually going to be enforced. Then we found out about this 6-point quiz. No matter how much of a gunner you were in the regular classes, the concept of being a gunner in OMT meant you were striving for a 3 out of 6 instead of a 1 or a 2. So none of us will forget those 2-point Tuesdays. And of course, OMT did have its perks as well. Cervical lab was essentially getting neck massages for about 2 hours. Actually, I could use one right now. But then after cervicals came Dr. Treffer's favorite, craniorhythmic impulse. So let's be honest, did anyone yet feel the cranial bones moving? No. To answer Dr. Treffer's question from earlier, I do not remember what that rate is. We move on to year two. We entered campus a little more confident. At least we weren't at the bottom of the totem pole anymore. We thought we had made it. Then we started with neurology. How many pathways can the nervous system possibly have? Certainly more than the number of highlighters I had. And you know it's bad when you start highlighting with blue, and then you add some orange, which results in this pukey brown color. You're not sure if that's another pathway or part of the first two you highlighted. So basically we ran out of options on how to distinguish our pathways. Year one and year two. Yes, the majority of our memories from these 2 years can be summarized in 3 categories. Studying at Smith Hall, studying at home when Smith Hall was closed, and then momentarily taking study breaks for YouTube videos and occasional ramen noodles. As I said before, lather, rinse, repeat. Cue 6 weeks. Year two, last day. At the end of the glorious first 2 years, just when we thought we couldn't get any worse, we were rewarded with the joys of studying for the first part of our national boards, step 1. We created mnemonics to help us remember every piece of medical knowledge. This was a truly solid system we created. If only we could remember what the mnemonics stood for 2 months later. Mud piles? Anybody? Okay. Year 3, day 1. Family and friends continue to call and congratulate us on our progress through medical school. Then, of course, they had some wrenching back pain as well. Luckily, our knowledge had grown through the few couple years beyond Wikipedia. Now we answered with utmost confidence after looking it up to date. Now that we were third years, we entered into a new playing field. Rotations for the first time is when we would have contact with face-to-face with live patients for at least a while. We filled our white coats with writing utensils, pen lights, ACLS cards, Maxwells, and stethoscopes. We decorated our lapels with DO pins, name badges, and Polish flags. Well, that was just me. We felt prepared, confident, and fearless. Okay, let's be honest, we were absolutely petrified that someone would let us treat them. Just when we felt like we were about to settle into a rotation, get an ounce of confidence, the rotation was over. We were on to the next hospital, the next attending, the next rotation. Like clockwork, we were being back to petrified first of every month. But we learned along the way. Let's reflect back to some of our favorite rotations. On psychiatry, we familiarized ourselves with the DSM-4, made several diagnoses for our patients, several more for ourselves. This rotation showed us the importance of a singular drug circulating throughout the hospital. Hello, Haldol. Bonus of psychiatry. No need to wear your white coat. You intimidate some of those patients. No need to bring your stethoscope. Your attending couldn't pick out a murmur if they tried. Moving on to the joys of surgery. We got up before sunrise, scrubbed in, held the retractor for about 3 hours minimum, scrubbed out, drove home after sunset, crawled in bed, just to realize you haven't eaten yet. Crawled out of bed, found your old stash of ramen, threw that in the microwave, fell asleep in the meantime, woke up to the beeping on the microwave, decided to eat some food, just to go back to bed, repeat the next day. Again, lather, rinse, repeat, this time literally. Bonuses to this rotation. You were not only allowed, but you were required to wear your scrubs every day, and you never needed your stethoscope because the surgeons had no idea how to do that anyway. And as long as the stitches weren't tomato red, your patients passed gas that day, we were good to go. Internal medicine. Thankfully, we were already used to sleep deprivation. Just like surgery, the hours kept on wandering. If really the entity of the sun was non-existent. Regardless, we rounded on patients every day and absorbed as much information as we could. Tips for internal medicine. Remember, put your stethoscope back in your pocket after you finish surgery and psychiatry. You will need it here because these doctors actually do know what they're doing with them. Second, if the patient is rapidly desaturating and you can't figure out why, look down and make sure you are not standing on the oxygen tubing. Third and most importantly, as told to me by my white coater on the first day of medical school and clearly every preceptor since then, know everything. Oh, that's all? Everything? Check. Moving on to pediatrics. This was a rotation for doom because you know if you saw the little ones with something, you were going to have it between 3 to 7 days later. They were cute until they started crying. Remember how smart you felt when you first saw that first ear infection? That was until the attendant came by and said it was normal. OB-GYN. This is where we experience the extreme excitement of finding that cervix for the first time on our own. And we witnessed the beauty and the beast of childbirth. The most important piece of this rotation was discovering that newfound appreciation for the shoe covers, not the short ones, but the ones that go up past your knee and over the knee. Those were good. You needed them. So after months of rotations, we completed our third year. We're more knowledgeable and experienced than ever. Then came boards, step 2 here, step 2 there, everywhere, step 2. I don't know how many exams you need to take before they finally believe you. And then when you're done, don't forget flying to Philadelphia, paying a couple dollars or $2 or $1,000, so you can show them that you have empathy. And some manipulation. Rib raising for everybody. Checklist expands. Study all the time, check. Know everything, check. Be empathetic, check, check. 4th year, day 1. Family calls again. 1 year to go, champ, way to go. We're so proud. Now about this wrist pain I've had for the last year. By this point, we are solid, confident, unyielding. Yes, here's our diagnosis, here's our plan. Call me next week and tell me how you're doing. You hang up the phone, you sit silently in pride as you welcome the knowledge, and then slowly you reach for your phone and double check it up-to-date mobile app. Section on carpal tunnel just for safety's sake. It is the last year of them all, and from day 1, senioritis already kicked in high gear. We traded study time for couch surfing and movie marathons. We were living the dream. for about a month until ERAS and interviews started. Then we were back to the obscene hours, learning how to live out of our cars and suitcases as we traveled on the interview trail. So we can perfect our fake smiling until our cheeks hurt so we could get ranked high at every program we interviewed at. But soon enough, Match came, and we found out where we would travel to continue our individual journeys. March 15th will definitely be a day that none of us will ever forget. Now as we embark on the next leg of our journeys, the 4 Ps are approaching with ever more intensity: packing, preparation, paperwork, and lots of prayer. Yes, prayer. Dear Lord, please don't let us look like fools on our first day. We can handle every day after that, but not day 1. Reflecting over the past 4 years, it's certainly been a roller coaster, one with ups and downs and upside downs, but we have overcome individually and collectively. While KCU has made us colleagues, we have made each other lifelong friends. Though we are all headed far and wide to various residencies, I have the utmost confidence that each of you will become superior doctors and that your patients will be entrusted into good hands. As we take this last turn into graduation, we can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. But although this leg of journey is coming to a close, never forget the path that you have trodden here. Tomorrow, when you walk across that stage, you will henceforth carry the title of doctor, not only engraved on your name badge or embroidered on your white coat, but further on your heart. Thus, as I close, I want to leave you with 3 wisdoms to hold true and take with you along your journeys. First, never forget the passion and the drive that brought you to the steps of KCU and carried you through the steps of graduation stage. For it is that fire inside that will give you the strength to press forward into the unknown of the future. Second, remember, always treat the person, not the numbers, for everyone has their own normal, their own healthy. Never treat them as a patient, but as a soul, and listen to each of their stories as they invite you into their lives and into their worlds. Finally, believe in yourselves and strive daily to exceed your own expectations. We are now the new generation to change and to be changed. Fight for what is right and never give up hope for yourself and for your patients. As of tomorrow, we will join the ranks of the infamous Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, Dr. Dre, Dr. Seuss, Dr. Pepper. As of tomorrow, we have officially introduced ourselves as medical students for the last time. And as of tomorrow, many of us will no longer have to explain that we are not nurses, nor nursing students, nor doctor's assistants, nor nutritionists, no social workers. The list goes on and on and on. As of tomorrow, class of 2013, we will be physicians. May you be the finest of healers and the most humble of servants this world has to offer. Congratulations, class of 2013.
Renata, if you'll please remain on stage.
It is with great pleasure that I stand before you today on behalf of the class of 2013 to honor our class president, Renata Dawashevich. From day one, Renata has begun a long journey with service to KCU. She has served in many different capacities, including student ambassador, student government president, and most notably and most recently as class president of the class of 2013. She has even represented KCU on a national level through the Council of Osteopathic Student Government Presidents. In each of these roles, she has dedicated hours to understanding exactly how things work and what she can do to make things better for us students. As her friend, I've witnessed countless meetings, post-it notes full of to-dos, and endless sources of information that she has worked through and taken on, and I sometimes wonder how she even has the time to be a student. She has managed to balance medical school with her personal life, as well as business school, and somehow finding time to get married and all of that as well. She is not only a hard worker and dedicated student representative for KCU, but also a great friend to many. Through the good and the bad, she is always available to offer a hand, whether it's listening to our stories of the good times and the awful times, whether it's organizing a fundraiser to help a friend in need, or whether it's just providing the right piece of humor to get us through that awful day. She was always there to share the moment with us. With big dreams, hard work, and the best of intentions, Renata has accomplished quite a bit in the past 4 years. I'm proud to call her my friend and to be able to present this award on her behalf and on behalf of the class of 2013. So thank you, Renata, for your tremendous service and dedication. Let's give her a round of applause.
Matthew and Kia and Renata will join us over here for the picture.
Well, KCU has a long tradition of honoring graduates each year in categories that represent excellence, medical aptitude, and professionalism. While KCU honors accomplishments of our students in 25 different categories and areas of study, this evening's presentation will spotlight and present 4 of the most prestigious awards KCU has to offer. The first award is the Dean's Award, which is handy since I'm the dean. The first award honors a member of the senior class who, by personal and professional conduct, has made significant contributions to the university community in a manner that has enhanced the overall quality and spirit of the college. This year's recipient is not only a high-achieving student, but she exhibits strong leadership skills, commitment to the osteopathic profession, and passion for community service. She was an officer of the radiology and obstetrics and gynecology clubs. Service was paramount to her as she tutored in pathology, was a teaching assistant in anatomy, and participated in a medical mission trip to Guatemala. She's a member of several national professional organizations, and she is the recipient of the American Women's Association's Glasgow-Rubin Citation for Academic Achievement, and that's given for a student who's graduating in the top 10% of her class. She will also graduate with the honor summa cum laude. And finally, I'm pleased to announce that our Dean's Award recipient has been selected as a resident in obstetrics and gynecology at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate Emily Kathleen Barnard as the Dean's Award recipient. Family want some pictures too? All right. I'm watching you. All right. Congratulations.
The President's Award honors a member of the class who by personal and professional conduct has made notorious contributions in service to the greater community while enrolled as a student at KCU. and in doing so has enhanced the public image of osteopathic medicine and exemplifies the core values that guide our mission. This year's President's Award recipient not only performed well scholastically and clinically, he proved himself as the epitome of a collaborative team player, leader, teacher, volunteer, and student. Throughout his 4 years as one of our students, he always mirrored KCUMB core values and his dedication to the osteopathic profession. He demonstrated a remarkable talent for leadership by serving as president of the American College of Osteopathic Family Physicians. He served as a teaching assistant in the Osteopathic Principles and Practice Laboratory. He is a recipient of the Army Health Professions Scholarship. Tomorrow, during the commencement ceremony, he will be commissioned as an officer in the Armed Forces and will go on to serve our country as an internal medicine resident at the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate the President's Award recipient, Mark McDonald Pence.
The Silver Stethoscope Award is presented to the student who graduates second in the class, which is an extraordinary achievement in itself, especially with this class. This year's recipient not only attained this honorable placement in a class of 218 students, but he exhibited stellar leadership and involvement in student life and community service. He served as president of the class of 2013 and was elected vice president of the Student Senate and president of KCUMB's Council of Presidents. His leadership extended beyond the campus and reached a national level as he represented KCUMB on the National Council of Osteopathic Student Government Presidents. Our recipient served as a teaching assistant and tutor in the discipline of anatomy and team leader in the discipline of pathology. Realizing the importance of balancing study, work, and activities outside the classroom, he found time to volunteer and serve the greater Kansas City community. He's a member of the National Osteopathic Scholastic Honor Society, Psi Sigma Alpha, and will graduate with the honor of summa cum laude. And last, I'm proud to say that he too will be commissioned as an officer in the armed forces tomorrow and will serve our country, the same place I served our country, at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland, as a general surgery resident. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to present Paul Charles Campbell with the Silver Stethoscope Award.
It is an honor to present the Gold Stethoscope Award this evening to the individual who will graduate first in the class of 2013. The recipient of the Gold Stethoscope Award traditionally serves as a student marshal for the College of Osteopathic Medicine commencement ceremonies, leading students, faculty, and guest hooders in tomorrow's processional. In addition to performing at the top of her class, the recipient of the Gold Stethoscope Award stood out as a leader and a researcher. She co-founded and served as president of the Dermatology Club. She tutored pathology and further assisted her classmates to understand its basic principles by formulating pathology review sessions. In 2012, she presented her research on Crohn's disease at the Society for Pediatric Dermatologic Cases of the Year Symposium. Aside from study and research, our recipient still found time to be actively involved in a great number of professional organizations to promote and support the osteopathic profession. She is a recipient of the Mineral Area Foundation Scholarship and is a member of the National Honorary Osteopathic Fraternity Sigma Sigma Phi. The American Women's Association honored her with the Glasgow-Rubin Citation for Academic Achievement graduating in the top 10% of her class. She is a member of the National Osteopathic Scholastic Honor Society, Phi Sigma Alpha, and will graduate tomorrow with a Latin honor, summa cum laude. Tonight's recipient will perform her residency in dermatology at St. Louis University Hospital in St. Louis, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, graduating first in her class, I am honored to present the Gold Stethoscope Award to Angela Marie Sutton.
I guess I just would like to say thank you to all of my friends and family. Definitely would not have made it to this point without you. Special thanks to my husband. He deserves a Medal of Honor after those 4 years, that's for sure. And special thanks to my parents and my grandmother who are here today to celebrate with me. And thanks to all of you. I'm proud to be a part of your class, and it's been a great year, and good luck to everything in the future.
Thank you for joining us this evening to celebrate all of our 218 graduates. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow at the 127th commencement of the College of Osteopathic Medicine.